YouTube, what's that word? This is Marko Stats, and this is Marko Stats Reacts. Today, we're going to be reacting to Money Long on Ageism in the Music Industry, R&B Money Podcast. This is my first time watching an R&B Money podcast. I've heard the name Money Long before, and she's a wonderful songwriter. She's beautiful. She's older, and she has a whole bunch of interesting stories about the music industry and her journey. And she always be dropping gems in the interviews I've seen from her. Hopefully I get a chance to meet her one day. I got a couple R&B songs that I released myself. I started off as more of an MC, but I got a song out right now that's called Her and Her that got picked up by a Spotify playlist, indie playlist, an official Spotify indie R&B playlist. So I got a couple R&B songs myself that I'm pushing. So without further ado, we gonna see what Money Long says about ageism in the music industry and R&B. So let's get it.
30s is one of the most honest records I've heard from a female artist.
From a female.
Because of the age thing?
Yes.
Yes, because I feel like women tend to stay away from that.
You know, I get a lot of, what's the word? Massaging around the age. I'll be 36 in 2 weeks. I do not give a if y'all know how old I am.
Right.
What Adele said, I make music for the ears. If you have a problem with what I'm saying, I'm talking about the human experience. How old I am has nothing to do with it. I'm not selling sex. I don't want you to like me. I want you to listen to the music and be affected by it. My age has absolutely nothing to do with it. I could be 50 saying the same things.
Yeah.
I think the problem is that it's such a cognitive dissonance that people feel when they look at me. They see a youthful, and 36 is young, by the way, still.
Yeah.
But they see like a 20-something, you know. So like a lot of the younger artists, they think I'm their age. They think I'm like 23, you know, 25, somewhere in there. And so I think it bothers people when they realize that I'm a grown woman.
I don't know if it's
so. You think it bothers?
Yeah, no, it's like how are you doing that? How are you so youthful?
I don't think it's a bother. I think the system has just been set up to get all that it can get out of you, and it feels like, or what it's been programmed to feel like, is that by the 30s it's gotten all its need, and it's now ready to move you on to pasture and usher in the new, right?
Well,
and so
in other words, you're no longer stupid, and we can no longer take advantage of you.
And now we're starting to realize, we're starting to reshape that idea, because we don't really, I don't know if there's a acted, I don't even know if that's a thing, but we're not last generation's 30 and 40 and 50.
No.
And
We're
also, I think the age of like viability, value, has been extended through TikTok and things like that, where you're seeing older influencers, content creators. You're seeing models now who have gray hair, you know, doing beauty campaigns. I just don't think that, like, I think usefulness and results are more valued than actual age, because there's a lot of young people who are just in the way. You're not doing nothing. You don't want to work hard. You know what I'm saying? You want to get paid and you don't want to do nothing. Right. Just move around.
You know what Tyree said, which was a great point? He said during the pandemic, Versus was a very telling moment for the people who actually had talent and the people who didn't. And it reminded people of the quality that they had been missing in music for a very, very long time. And he was like, that was the reemergence of R&B taking a place that had been missed from it for so long. Like, we were, in the pandemic, R&B was mainstream.
Absolutely.
Mainstream.
Absolutely. Everybody was tapped into R&B.
Tapped in.
Yeah.
D-Nice, R&B mainstream.
Right. Tevin
That's a
Campbell was
great
our
point.
biggest artist.
Come on now.
That was
Tevin
a-
Campbell was the
no,
biggest
that
artist
was a
in the pandemic. Can We Talk is the biggest record
Yeah.
in the streets during the pandemic.
And coming
Like,
out of
yeah.
that, it's like you said, now it's like people are like, hold on. Now they're not allowing themselves to be programmed by that age thing or whatever that is. No, we like that. We like the model with the gray hair.
What's making me
She's
feel
cool.
something?
Yeah, we like these songs. I don't care that it doesn't
Yeah,
fit in
and you know-
sonically with what that guy is rapping
And
about.
I can
we
say
like
this
the
now,
song.
but like there was a lot of things being offered to me during hours and hours, peak of that song where there was maybe some artists who were past their time in the light, but there were still legends wanting to work with me, and I was being advised
Not to work with him.
not to do it. It's like, that's not your demographic. Bro, I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about what experience am I having as an artist. I've always wanted to work with these people.
Right.
I've looked up to them, and I would hope that whenever I get to that place, that people aren't using that same fear-based. I never make decisions based on fear. So you're saying that I shouldn't do it because we don't want people to age me and think I'm old? That's crazy. I want to be able to say, I have a song with this person. Because in 10 years, 15 years, if they're not here any longer, that becomes something special.
Yes.
So I never make decisions based on that, but I do think that it's really silly that we have all these like limiting beliefs, right? That's so crazy to me.
Yeah. The most interesting part about that though is that it's usually older people advising you
Right.
that that's not the right thing.
That's your
because
own
they
fear and
don't wanna
projection.
feel old.
Yeah, no, I don't really care about none of that.
Yeah. I could care too. It's about most of the they be talking.
Right.
So for me, it's just like you have to, at some point, you have to take the stance of, I want to do that, what feels good to me. Like you said, you want to have that experience. There are people that you've looked up to that made that phone call that you're like, oh, I'm going to answer that call.
Absolutely.
I don't give a damn if they ain't put out a record in 20 years. So what? They called me. I enjoyed their music. I'm a fan. Because that's the other thing I think that has happened in this business too, is that people forget that at one point, we were all just fans.
There you guys have it. Money Long on ageism in the music industry. The music industry is, well, speaking from the lens of hip hop and R&B, black music, I feel like hip hop being here for so long, R&B being here for so long, the industry is widening. I said widening. It's getting wider. The industry is getting wider, and we're seeing artists and creators from all different type of age ranges, and it's interesting that I think it's a blessing, that people can be 36, 38, still be doing their thing, still dropping their music, still doing shows. I think that's beautiful. A lot of artists that I look up to, they're usually older than me. Like Kendrick is my favorite artist of all time, and he's like 30, 37, 38. Drake is older. He's like 37, 38 or whatever. J. Cole is like damn near 40. Kanye, all this. Cardi, you know what I'm saying? Cardi is damn near like 30. It's like a lot of these people are older, and a lot of the young generation is not producing any more legends for real. Like when is the last time we had a bona fide legend from the young generation? I give it to from the young generation, I give it to Young Boy. I give it to Kodak. Many people may argue and say that they're not superstars or they're not legends, but they legends in my book. And then it's like after that, who's next? Young Boy is 25. Kodak, I believe, is around 25. Who's next after that? And then it's like it's such a gap because you got Kodak, Young Boy, and then the generation before them, the stars you got, well, like superstars, you got Travis Scott and Cardi, and Travis Scott's like 32 or some shit, or 33. Cardi is like 29, 30. So it's like there's a gap, and some of the biggest superstars in hip hop and R&B are in their 30s. So I don't know. It's an interesting thing, and it's like it takes time to develop as an artist. If you're a younger artist and you just have all the tools already, that's amazing. But a lot of the best art and artists who are well seasoned and have been battle tested, a lot of them are older. So it's an interesting phenomenon. But what y'all think? Make sure that you guys comment on this video and give me y'all thoughts. Shout out to Money Long. Make sure that you guys like this video as well. Click that notification bell to be updated with all of my content. Like I said, I got an R&B record right now going crazy on Spotify, Her and Her. Make sure that you guys get that record. Just look up Marko Stats, Her and Her. I got some more R&B, indie, alternative R&B, hip hop, all type of shit. Swayze gonna do it different. Swayze gonna bring that futuristic shit to the table. It's only one Swayze. But till next time, I love you guys, man. Stay safe out there. Swayze. Peace.